what is up? My name is Chris. I'm super pumped to have you on this training today where we're going to go over the complete guide to understanding macros for older beginners. AKA, this is for you if you're somebody who is trying to lose weight, doesn't know why things aren't working, have said, I don't eat a lot, yet the weight's not budging. And when you hear the word macro or calorie, you go, screw that, too much for me. This is for you, okay? So make sure you watch this to the very end. I promise I'm holding nothing back. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about macros and also understand why you're stuck, which is the goal, okay? And you're going to see me too. I'm going to move my face all around on this. I didn't make this for my bubble specific spot, so just be aware of that, okay? So the goal here is to take away the flinch when you begin to hear the word macro and help you gain an understanding of why you're stuck, not losing, or nothing seems to work for you. Okay, so if you're somebody like, I tried everything and nothing works, it's likely because of this, okay? When I talk to people regarding their health and fitness, regardless of spectrum, 10, 15 pounds they want to lose, 100, 200, 300 pounds they want to lose, anywhere in between, there's one common thread. And that common thread is they do not understand calories, macros, and how that stuff works. Because when you understand that, you can at least begin to reason with yourself as to why you're not losing. And then we can work on the bigger problems, okay? So before I get into that, because you might not know me, that is me. So you might be like, oh, Chris, well, you're thin looking, dude. Like, there's no way you've ever experienced being overweight. You know what it's like to be me. You just were gifted. Wrong, okay? That's me. XL t-shirt, 36 pants, at Disneyland with a smile and I'm pumped on my face with my daughter, who's now going to be 8 next month, at Disneyland, which is my favorite place to be at in the whole wide world. Overweight, upset, depressed, anxious, and really having a hard time getting out of bed. Okay, I would much rather be at Disneyland in Fantasyland than live in reality, which was my torment every single day. And because I hated the way I looked, I had no energy. I drank monsters upon monsters upon monsters every day in my gym that I owned for 7 years, trying to just be somewhat of a person that I wanted to become that never could be. Okay. But after that, I decided, hey, I'm going to make myself right, get things moving. I had 13 years experience in this industry, lost 42 pounds as well. So I know what it's like to be fit. I know what it's like to be there too. Now, I'm about 10, 15 pounds above that right now, so I'm not that thin anymore. But like where I'm at and feel great. But I'm also not just, done this for myself. I'm kind of responsible for all this too. So if you see partially behind me, this pictures of me today. Okay, but that's my back wall. There's over 3,000 pounds there, and I finally got it of frames. And I have some people that are about to graduate my program, so I can finish up that wall. And then I got to figure out, am I going to put stuff on that one or that one? I think I'm going to put it on this one back here. I have this whole thing filled. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it. But I'm responsible for a lot. So I've done a whole bunch of training. I've helped a lot of people lose weight. And all of them, just like these guys here, had a common thread. Okay, like Libby worked out. Natalie worked out all the time. They went to Orange Theory. They're beating themselves up, getting as many splat points as possible. Michael, the guy there, the only dude there, okay? My mans did triathlons. Did triathlons at that size. You would think somebody who's triathlons is fairly fit. And he is incredibly fit. He was just fat and overweight and hated the way he looked. Had no energy. Okay? And all these guys, okay, what we do in my program, okay, is I teach people how to lose weight and keep it off. And watch what happens. Bang! All of them down a ton. Libby, tons, 40, 50 pounds. Michael, 80 pounds. Natalie, 70 pounds. Okay? The gap was going from not understanding and not knowing nutrition to understanding how it works. And if you can understand how nutrition works, you can figure out why you are where you are, why things are not moving, and how to change them. Okay? Which is the point of this entire training, right? But the reality is, when it comes time to talk about calories and macros and how these things work, it seems like you got to have a freaking degree in this to even understand what macros are, nutrition and calories, what's good food and bad food and all these things. It seems like you got to be a damn scientist. But how is it that this guy knows? A guy who thinks wearing a vest with a hoodie on it is a good thing. That looks great. Newsflash. Doesn't look good. Don't do it. It doesn't look awesome. Also, those are fake weights behind them. They're not real. They're too thick to be metal 45s, and they're not thick enough to be bumper 45s. So If it's a dude who wears that also takes pictures with fake weights, you know what I mean? Like, if he can figure it out, you can figure it out. Okay? It's not, this stuff is actually, you would think would be taught at the higher end of your education in nutrition. This is day one. This is 101. This is literally, after you're done with the syllabus, you go right into what calories and macronutrients are. It's for anybody with a high school diploma, you can learn this stuff, pinky promise. And even if you don't, okay, my 7-year-old figures this stuff out. So, what is a calorie? Calorie, unit of energy. That's all that it means. A calorie is also, you can switch calories from food to horsepower in a car. You can switch horsepower in a car to watts in a light bulb. All it is a unit of energy. That's it. That's it. Crazy, right? Now, what's a macronutrient? A macronutrient is a molecule that gives your body energy because it's got calories in it, okay, and provides essential components for living. Everything outside of supplementation that's a vitamin or mineral comes from something with a calorie. Calories come from food. Every food has calories. Okay, so think of it like calories is the units of energy we can pull from food because our body's designed by a great, amazing God that does that. Okay, and then those macronutrients provide components for us to live. Kind of nice. Okay, now there are 3 main macronutrients. Okay, so calories, think of this jar right here full of a bunch of stuff. Proteins, fats, carbohydrates. There's 2 others that we're going to touch on, but we're going to keep it moving. Fiber and alcohol. Those 2 have calories as well. Okay, but we're only going to talk about these ones today. Protein, fats, carbs. Okay, so you can see they're calories, bunch of them in that bowl, but they're sorted out into those things. Okay, protein. Protein, you build stuff with it. Everything in your body is made of protein. Everything. You're like, but bones are made of calcium. True, but what makes the bones? Osteoblasts. What are osteoblasts made from? Protein. Everything in your body is made from protein. Okay, even fat cells are made of protein. Cell walls, protein. Okay, made of that. Fats. These guys make hormones. Main component of hormones. And they help clear out plaque. They got a bunch of other cool things in it, but just for us, think of hormones. Okay, that's what fat's made of. Or hormones made of fat, excuse me. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. This is the main energy currency of the body. Your body loves carbohydrates. It makes you feel good. It makes your body operate well. Your brain primarily runs on carbohydrates as energy. Okay. And some people go, oh, but when I get rid of carbohydrates, I feel so much better. No, it's called the placebo effect. Your body's making ketones as a last-ditch effort to stay alive. That's why you feel that way. Okay. And maybe you like feeling that way because your body's used to being stressed and it's home for you. But your body does not like that. It does not like it. Okay? Also, most vitamins and minerals come from carbohydrates. So lettuce, carbohydrates. Bananas, carbohydrates. Potatoes, carbohydrates. Peanuts, carbohydrates are in them too. Bunch of good stuff in there. Bunch of good stuff. Okay? So by avoiding any one thing or demonizing any one thing, not good. But carbohydrates make me fat. Oh no! So it's like the person who's still not fit that's telling you this stuff. Okay? No, they don't. They don't. What about the insulin? What about the insulin? Thank God there's insulin. Okay? Otherwise, you got sugar running throughout your blood and it's causing problems. You're going to have bad nerves in 2 minutes if you didn't have insulin. Thank God you got insulin. Okay? So, now here's how calories are made. Okay? We got 140 grams when you start putting in your stuff into like a calorie counter, MyFitnessPal, or whatever app that you choose to use. 140 grams. Let's say lettuce is made of a bunch of stuff. You get 200 grams of lettuce. You might get 6 carbohydrates. Well, what's the rest of the 200 grams? Water, vitamins, minerals, stuff. Okay? So 140 grams of carbohydrates, 45 grams of fats, 130 grams of protein. Let's say at the end of the day, when you track all your food, weighing it, doing all the things you should, that's where they land up. Here's how calories are made. You take these numbers, carbohydrates and proteins, the ends of this bad boy. There's 4 calories. What are calories? Units of energy. Per gram, per literal weight, per weight of protein and of carbohydrate. So you multiply those bad boys by 4. okay, gives you 560 and 520. That's how many calories, units of energy, are in those things respectively, okay? Fat is 9. There's 9 calories, units of energy, in 1 gram of fat. Fat's a really long chain of molecule, bunch of calories in there, bunch of energy in that bad boy. So to figure out your total calories, you do this math, and then you add it all together. How freaking cool is that? Now, MyFitnessPal automatically does this for you, which is really nice. So you don't have to do pen and paper and sit here and do the math on your own, okay? I know some people do that. It's insane. Don't do that. Use a calorie counter. It's so much easier, okay? So this is the calories. Now, let's say, I'm not going to get into this part because it's not for this video. There's 4 things that help you burn calories. Metabolism, which is what we call it, basal metabolic rate, where you burn at rest. Thermic effect of food, calories breaking down the food. Activity, as in walking around, being active, playing with your kids, doing whatever. And then exercise. Those are 4 buckets. You cannot do anything else but those 4 things. So right here, if you add all those numbers up, those are just random numbers, somewhat. This is somebody's numbers, but likely not you, okay? You burn 2,130 calories. So to figure out if you're losing fat or not, you take your calories that you eat, subtract the calories that you burn, and if that number is negative, you're losing fat. How cool is that? Okay? And you might be like, 645 calories? That's a bunch. And if you do this in a day, you're like, 600, that sounds like a lot. That's like, man, I probably should be like a pound down or something like this. A pound. I should be, that's the key word. Should be down a pound. Well, if we look, 645 calories, you divide that bad boy by 9, it's less than 72 grams. How much is 72 grams of literal fat, right? Because calories, how many calories are in 1 gram of fat? Let's go back. 9, right? You see that? Fat. And that's what we're trying to get rid of in our bodies, fat, right? Divide that by 9, 72. It's the size of a large egg, like a chicken egg, okay? And so if you want to, or don't know I have that. I forget. But hey, if you lost weight, perfect. Oh, I know why. So if you're alive, because you're down in energy, if you're alive, you got to check yourself, make sure you're alive. And you are, because you're watching this. Oh, holy shit, this is amazing. This is a miracle, okay? You're good. That means you are alive. You had to get something from somewhere. You had to get energy from somewhere. You can't get energy out of something that doesn't have energy in it, right? If you want to lose 5 of those, you got to do that for 32 days straight. To lose 1 of those big old fat blobs. Pretty wild, right? So when you're like, oh, I should lose a pound in a day from this. No, you shouldn't. You're likely not going to. You're likely not. Takes a long time, turns out. Okay? But nobody shows the middle when you see these transformations. They show you a picture of the picture. That should be fast, and it's not fast. Takes a while. Takes a while. But let's say you're not losing. Oh my gosh, what could be going on? And you're doing all the things that you say. I am in a calorie deficit. I am eating less calories than what I'm burning. As I say, one of my most favorite quotes is, the math ain't mathin'. As in, you obey by those laws of thermodynamics too. Everything does, okay? That's kind of like saying, I put no gas in my car ever. I have no reserve tank, and I can keep driving it. There's no electricity. It runs on gas, but I don't fill it up ever. Never. I haven't filled up in 7 years, and I keep driving around. Doesn't make any sense, right? Your body's no different. Is that what happens? Or I should say, it's like swiping your credit card every day. And just, I can do it forever. No big deal. You can if you're the government. But like, other than that, we can't do that because we can't just print money out of nowhere. We can't do that. But our body is built so divinely, so amazing, that what we can do is you have 1485 is what you consume. 2130 is what you burn. That means you got 645 calories that you got from somewhere. That's roughly 71.77777 grams of fat, because your body will get it from fat. When you multiply those two together, it gives you 645. Now our equation's balanced and you're good to go. Because if it ended here, you would defy the laws of physics. You would be a scientific miracle. It would not be possible because you cannot get more energy out of something that wasn't given into it, right? Like I have a gallon of water somewhere. I think it's in my car. I cannot physically put 2 gallons in that thing. It's built to fit 1 gallon. But that is like saying, that's the same thing as saying, when I do this, I don't lose fat. Not possible. 0% chance. 0. Well, what about the carbs? What about the carbs? They all go down to calories. What about eating protein? You can't make fat from protein. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Your body can. Okay? So, what could be happening though, because science is great, that you're not losing? Well, the top is wrong. You're not tracking properly. You're not eating the right amount to should for the expected result that what you're wanting. Or one of these numbers is wrong. Maybe you're like, my basal metabolic rate is 2,000 calories. And you go, how did you figure that out? You're like, well, I just guessed. I'm like, well, you guessed wrong. It's not that. Couldn't be. Not possible. You can't guess it. You can't just go, here's a number. 2,000. No. No. Now, the question then becomes, well, what can I do to adjust some things if I'm not losing? Because I don't want to be frustrated and pissed. Well, here's what you can do. You decrease your carbohydrates, or decrease your fats, or both, or increase your protein so you get more thermic effective food. Okay, thermic effective food is the process your body uses to digest and break down the food. Protein has the highest degree of energy required to break things down. So increasing thermic effective food by eating more protein, we'll do that. Metabolism, you really can't change that today. You can change that over the course of a year, but not today. Okay, you can be more active. You can exercise more. One or all of those, any combination, will yield you a different result. The easiest ones for me that I recommend to my clients is we track our food, hit a certain amount of calories so we know what we're consuming, increase our activity, and then we increase our fitness. Okay, you do those things, it works. How often? Every time. The people that I showed you, the majority of them, I picked them purposefully, said that they couldn't lose weight. It's impossible for them. Yet, they all lost over 50 pounds. How is this possible? If it's impossible for them, it's because they didn't know how to play the game. So once you learn how to play the game, it's a lot easier to win. But if you don't know how to play the game, it's impossible to win. Make sense? So hopefully you found this valuable. If you did, please send me a message back. That way I know that you found it valuable, that it helped you out. If beyond that, if you go, okay, cool, I see how this, but I don't know how to do each of these things, that's where coaching comes in. All you got to do is go to bodyfathacks.com/breakthrough. Looks like this. So you go to bodyfathacks.com/breakthrough. You can go on there and you can set up a time for you and I to have a conversation to see what things you are literally struggling with. At the end of the call, worst case scenario is you get a ton of clarity. You understand exactly where you're at. Go over the things that you need specific help in working with. And if it does work out, we are a good fit, then we'll get you to where you want to go faster than you ever thought. And I'll teach you how to keep it off. With that being said, have a freaking great day. Kick some butt, take some names. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.